Right now, somewhere on a dusty back road, a farmer is hooking up a hay baler that rolled off the assembly line before man walked on the moon. And that machine is about to crank out perfect bales like it's 1965 all over again. No fancy computers, no dealer-only diagnostics, just raw, overbuilt iron that refuses to quit. These 10 hay balers were engineered so tough that decades later, they're still earning their keep in fields across the world. And some farmers actually prefer them over brand new machines costing 5 times the price. Here's why. Number 1. John Deere 14T. We're starting with one of the most beloved small square balers ever manufactured, the John Deere 14T. This machine was produced from 1957 to 1967, and it quickly became the gold standard for small hay operations across North America. What made the 14T so special was its simplicity. It was a twine tie baler, which means it used basic knotters to tie each bale with twine rather than wire. That might sound unremarkable today, but back in the late 1950s, reliable knotting mechanisms were the difference between a smooth day in the field and hours of frustrating downtime. The 14T ran off PTO power from the tractor, requiring just 30 to 40 horsepower to operate efficiently. The pickup mechanism was wide enough to handle standard windrows, and the plunger stroke was consistent enough to produce tight, uniform bales weighing between 50 and 75 pounds depending on how you adjusted it. The entire machine was built with heavy-gauge steel, and the frame was reinforced at stress points that John Deere engineers knew would take the most punishment over time. One of the reasons you still see the 14T in operation today is the availability of parts. Because so many of these balers were manufactured over that 10-year production run, the aftermarket parts supply has remained strong for decades. Knotters, needles, pickup teeth, shear bolts, you can find them from aftermarket suppliers without much trouble. And the mechanical simplicity of the machine means that most repairs can be done by the farmer in the barn with hand tools and a service manual. Another factor in the 14T's longevity is the fact that it doesn't ask much of the tractor pulling it. Many hobby farmers and small acreage operators have older tractors that pair perfectly with the 14T. The combination of a vintage tractor and a 14T baler is one of the most common sights at small haying operations across the United States, Canada, and beyond. The John Deere 14T proved that a baler doesn't need to be complicated to be effective. It needs to pick up hay, compress it, tie it, and drop it. And the 14T does all 4 of those things with a reliability that has stood the test of time for well over half a century. Number 2. New Holland 268. Hayliner. If you ask old-timers which small square baler they trust the most, there's a very good chance they'll say the New Holland 268. Manufactured during the 1960s and into the early 1970s, the 268 Hayliner was part of New Holland's legendary lineup of small square balers that helped define the brand's reputation for making dependable hay equipment. The New Holland 268 featured a heavy-duty pickup head, a powerful plunger system, and the company's proven knotter design. The knotters on New Holland balers from this era were known for being forgiving. They could handle slight variations in twine tension and still tie clean, tight knots bale after bale. This mattered enormously to farmers who were putting up thousands of bales during a season and couldn't afford to stop every few minutes to retie a missed knot. The 2068 was designed to operate with tractors in the 35 to 50 horsepower range, which means it matched well with the mid-size utility tractors that were common on family farms during that period. The bale chamber produced standard small square bales, and the density could be adjusted to suit different types of hay, lighter for grass hay, tighter for alfalfa. What truly set the 2068 apart was the quality of the castings and the thickness of the steel used throughout the machine. New Holland did not cut corners on materials during this era. The main frame was built to absorb the constant shock of the plunger cycle without cracking or fatiguing, and many 2068 balers have survived decades of use with nothing more than routine maintenance, greasing, replacing worn teeth, and the occasional knotter rebuild. Today, the 268 remains a popular choice for farmers who bale small acreages, sell hay at roadside stands, or put up hay for their own livestock. These balers regularly change hands at farm auctions, and well-maintained examples command respectable prices because buyers know exactly what they're getting, a proven machine with a track record measured in decades. Number 3. New Holland 269 Hayliner. Following closely behind the 2068 is its sibling, the New Holland 269 Hayliner. Produced from the late 1960s through the 1970s, the 269 was an evolution of the 2068 with several refinements that made it even more user-friendly and durable. The 2069 shared the same core design philosophy as its predecessor: rugged construction, reliable knotters, and straightforward mechanical operation. However, it incorporated improvements to the pickup mechanism, offering better flotation over uneven ground and more consistent feeding of hay into the bale chamber. The feeder forks were redesigned for smoother operation, which reduced the chances of plugging in heavy windrows. One of the most notable features of the 2069 was its reputation for making exceptionally uniform bales. Farmers who sold hay commercially valued this because buyers preferred bales that stacked neatly and weighed consistently. A well-tuned 2069 could produce bales that were almost identical in size and weight across an entire field, which was a testament to the precision of its plunger and knotting systems. Like the 268, the 269 requires modest tractor power and is mechanically simple enough for owner maintenance. Parts availability continues to be excellent thanks to the large number of units produced and a robust aftermarket supply chain. Many farmers who own a 269 today report that they have owned the machine for 30 or 40 years, and some of these balers have been in continuous service on the same farm for their entire lifespan. The New Holland 269 Hayliner represents the peak of mid-century small square baler design, tough enough to last generations and simple enough for anyone with basic mechanical skills to maintain. Number 4. New Holland 311 Hayliner. Moving into the next generation, the New Holland 311 took everything that made the 268 and 269 great and added incremental improvements that extended the Hayliner legacy into the 1970s. The 311 was produced from the mid-1970s through the late 1980s and became one of the best-selling small square balers in the world during its production run. The 3111 featured an improved pickup head with better ground-following capability, updated knotters that were even more reliable than earlier models, and a stronger drive system that could handle higher throughput without straining. The bale chamber was designed to produce tight, well-shaped bales at faster ground speeds, which was important as farming operations grew larger and farmers needed to cover more acres in less time. One area where the 311 really excelled was in its tolerance for less than perfect conditions. It could handle damp hay better than many competitors, and the pickup could work through heavier windrows without plugging as easily. This made it a versatile machine that performed well across different types of hay and different field conditions. The 311 also benefited from New Holland's growing experience with manufacturing processes and materials. The welds were cleaner, the castings were more precise, and the overall fit and finish of the machine reflected the company's commitment to quality. Many 311 balers have put up well over 100,000 bales during their working lives, and plenty of them show no signs of stopping. For farmers who want the reliability of the classic New Holland Hayliner design but with slightly more modern features and improved capacity, the 311 is the sweet spot. It's old enough to be simple and affordable, but new enough to handle the demands of serious hay production. That combination of attributes is why the 311 remains one of the most sought-after used balers on the market today. Number 5. John Deere 336. John Deere's answer to the New Holland 311 was the 336, a small square baler that was produced from the mid-1970s through the 1990s and earned a reputation for being one of the toughest balers ever built. The 336 was the successor to the popular 346 and shared many of its design principles: heavy construction, reliable knotting, and straightforward mechanical operation. The 336 was designed to work with tractors ranging from 40 to 75 horsepower, giving it a wide operating range that suited everything from small family farms to larger commercial hay operations. The pickup head was a full 66 inches wide, which allowed it to handle wide windrows efficiently. The plunger system was powered by a heavy flywheel that stored energy between strokes, delivering consistent compression force regardless of slight variations in PTO speed. One feature that set the John Deere 336 apart was the quality of its knotters. John Deere invested heavily in knotter technology, and the 336's knotters were among the most reliable in the industry. When properly maintained and timed, they could tie thousands of bales without a single miss. Farmers who took the time to learn how to set up and maintain the knotters were rewarded with season after season of trouble-free baling. The 3036 was also known for its durability in harsh conditions. The frame and major structural components were built with the same heavy steel that characterized John Deere equipment of this era, and the paint systems were designed to resist corrosion. Many 336 balers that have spent their entire lives outdoors still have solid frames and functional components. Parts for the 336 remain widely available, and the machine's popularity means that experienced mechanics who know how to work on them are not hard to find. For farmers who value the John Deere name and want a small square baler that can handle serious work, the 336 is a machine that has proven itself over decades of service. Number 6. International Harvester 46. International Harvester may not be the first name that comes to mind when people think of hay balers, but the IH-46 small square baler was a remarkably well-built machine that has earned a loyal following among the farmers who own them. Produced during the 1960s, the 46 was part of International Harvester's lineup of hay equipment that served the company's core customer base of diversified family farmers. The IH-46 was a compact, PTO-driven small square baler that operated efficiently with tractors in the 30 to 45 horsepower range. The pickup mechanism was sturdy and effective, and the bale chamber produced well-formed bales that handled and stacked easily. The knotters, while not quite as forgiving as the New Holland units, were reliable when properly maintained and adjusted. What made the IH-46 special was its construction quality. International Harvester built this baler with thick steel and heavy-duty bearings throughout. The drive components were over-engineered for the loads they would encounter, which meant that wear was slow and failures were rare. Many IH-46 balers have survived 50 or more years of use with their original main shafts, gearboxes, and structural components still intact. The IH-46 doesn't get the same attention as the New Holland and John Deere balers on this list, but among the farmers who own them, it's a beloved machine. These balers often stay in families for generations, passed down from father to son, along with the knowledge of how to keep them running. That kind of generational loyalty is the highest compliment any piece of farm equipment can receive. Number 7. Massey Ferguson 12. The Massey Ferguson 12 small square baler was produced during the 1960s and 1970s and became a staple of small and mid-size farms across North America, Europe, and Australia. Massey Ferguson was known during this period for building practical, no-nonsense farm equipment, and the Model 12 baler was a perfect example of that philosophy. The MF12 was a straightforward PTO-driven baler that required relatively modest tractor power. Typically 35 to 50 horsepower was sufficient. It featured a reliable pickup head, a consistent plunger mechanism, and Massey Ferguson's own knotter design, which was well regarded for its durability and ease of adjustment. What made the Massey Ferguson 12 stand out was its versatility. It performed well with different types of hay and could handle a range of field conditions without excessive fussing. Farmers who ran mixed operations, baling grass hay one week and alfalfa the next, appreciated the fact that the MF12 could transition between different crops with minimal adjustment. The build quality of the MF12 was consistent with the Massey Ferguson standards of the era. The frame was robust, the mechanical components were well machined, and the overall design prioritized serviceability. Accessing the knotters, adjusting the pickup height, and replacing wear parts were all straightforward tasks that could be accomplished with common tools. Today, the Massey Ferguson 12 is a popular baler among hobby farmers and small-scale hay producers. Its modest power requirements make it an ideal match for the vintage and compact tractors that many of these operators use, and its reliable performance ensures that baling day goes smoothly season after season. Number 8. Hesston 5500. Now we're shifting from small squares to round bales, and we're starting with one of the machines that helped launch the round baling revolution, the Hesston 5500. Introduced in the early 1970s, the Hesston 5500 was one of the first commercially successful large round balers, and it fundamentally changed how farmers thought about hay harvesting. Before the Hesston 5500, putting up hay meant handling individual small square bales by hand, a back-breaking process that required significant labor. The 5500 could produce large round bales weighing 800 to 1500 pounds that could be moved with a tractor-mounted bale spear or front-end loader, dramatically reducing the labor required for hay harvesting. The 5500 used a belt system to form the round bales, wrapping the hay around itself as it was fed into the bale chamber. When the bale reached full size, the operator tied it with twine and ejected it from the rear of the machine. The concept was revolutionary, and the execution was solid. Hesston built the 5500 with heavy-duty components that could withstand the stresses of forming large, heavy bales. The Hesston 5500 proved its durability over decades of service. Many of these original machines are still in operation today, producing round bales on farms where labor is limited and efficiency matters. The belt system, while it requires periodic replacement, is straightforward to maintain, and the mechanical components of the baler are accessible and repairable. Hesston, which later became part of AgSeo, built its reputation on the 5500. The machine demonstrated that round baling was not just a novelty but a practical, efficient method of hay harvesting. And the fact that units from the early 1970s are still working more than 5 decades later is a testament to the engineering quality that Hesston put into this groundbreaking machine. Number 9. Vermeer 605 Super M. Vermeer is a name that's synonymous with round baling, and the 605 series is the machine that cemented that reputation. The Vermeer 605 line, including the popular 605 Super M, has been in production in various iterations since the late 1970s, and earlier models from the 1980s and 1990s are still baling strong today. The Vermeer 605 Super M is a chain and belt round baler that produces bales up to 5 feet wide and 6 feet in diameter. It requires a tractor with a minimum of around 60 PTO horsepower, which places it in the sweet spot for mid-size farming operations. The baler features Vermeer's signature gathering wheels on the pickup head, which help feed hay smoothly into the bale chamber even in difficult conditions. One of the key reasons the 605 series has endured is Vermeer's commitment to build quality. The frames are heavy and well braced, the bearings are properly sized for the loads they encounter, and the drive chains and belts are designed for long service life. When components do wear out, they're accessible and replaceable without requiring specialized tools or dealer-only diagnostic equipment. The 605 Super M also earned a reputation for making well-shaped, tight round bales that shed water effectively and store well outdoors. This was critically important for farmers who stored round bales in the field rather than undercover, because a tight, well-formed bale would resist weather damage far better than a loose or misshapen one. Vermeer's dealer network and parts support have also contributed to the 605's longevity. Even older models benefit from a supply chain that stocks replacement parts and provides technical support. For farmers who want a round baler they can depend on year after year, the Vermeer 605 series remains a top choice, and the older models still in service prove that it was always a top choice. Number 10. New Holland 850. We're closing out our list with another round baler, the New Holland 850. Produced from the late 1970s into the mid-1980s, the 850 was one of New Holland's early entries into the round baler market, and it quickly proved that the company's reputation for building reliable hay equipment extended beyond small square balers. The New Holland 850 was a chain-type round baler that produced bales approximately 4 feet wide and up to 5.5 feet in diameter. It operated with tractors in the 45 to 65 horsepower range, which made it accessible to a wide range of farming operations. The chain design was robust and relatively simple, with fewer moving parts than belt-type systems, which translated to less maintenance and fewer potential failure points. One of the strengths of the 850 was its ability to produce consistently tight bales across a variety of hay types. Whether the farmer was baling fine grass hay, coarse native grass, or heavy alfalfa, the 850 could handle the material and produce bales that held their shape and stacked well. The twine wrapping system was reliable and easy to adjust, and the bale ejection mechanism worked smoothly with minimal operator intervention. The build quality of the 850 reflected New Holland's heritage. The frame was constructed from heavy steel, the drive components were properly engineered for the duty cycle, and the overall design of the machine prioritized accessibility for maintenance. Farmers could grease the machine, check the chains, and make adjustments without crawling into tight spaces or removing multiple panels. The new Holland 8050 may not have the same name recognition as some of the other balers on this list, but the farmers who own and operate them know exactly how good they are. Many 8050 balers have been in continuous service for over 40 years, producing tens of thousands of round bales during their working lives. That kind of longevity speaks louder than any marketing campaign ever could. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more content about the toughest, most durable farm equipment ever built. Drop a comment below and let us know. Do you run an old baler? Which one? We'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.